Liverpool team vs Hertha Berlin will answer major midfield question for Jürgen Klopp. Jürgen Klopp's strong 11 against Mainz featured Harvey Elliott in the Liverpool midfield. A third straight run-out against Hertha Berlin would be significant. With Liverpool's opener against Norwich City a little over 2 weeks away. The pre-season fixtures are gradually growing in intensity and importance. Each match should be taking the team that little bit closer to readiness for the Premier League curtain raiser. The game against Hertha Berlin is a chance to step it up another notch. An extra friendly against Bologna has been mooted for August 5th, but this still gives the squad a full week to recover between matches. As such, a relatively full-strength lineup, at least for one half, can be expected. As in the first period against Mainz, Jürgen Klopp will want to get a good look at something resembling his team for Norwich. Hertha Berlin provide a relatively equivalent test to Mainz, having finished 14th in the Bundesliga last season. Two places below Klopp's old club, lacking an obvious marksman at the best of times. The club will also have two of their joint top scorers from last season unavailable. John Cordoba has left to join Krasnodar, while Matheus Cunha is away at the Olympics with Brazil. Klopp may well be disappointed not to get a closer look at Cunha, who seems a strong stylistic fit for Liverpool. Nonetheless, it will make things a little less strenuous for the potentially returning Virgil van Dijk. The word from the manager is that Van Dijk will be limited to 20 minutes or so. It is hard to predict exactly where he slots in, but the most likely outcome probably seems to be a run-out in the final 20 minutes. With the intensity winding down a little. Both club and player have been so careful up to this point, with Van Dijk opting against rushing back for the Euros. There can be no doubt that Liverpool will continue to take every possible precaution in managing his return. As such, rather boringly, Van Dijk does not feature in the predicted starting 11 for either half. The first half lineup will probably look something like this. Much of this team is the same as in the first half against Mainz. A crucial one to watch is Harvey Elliott. He kept his place in the starting side ahead of Curtis Jones last time out. And if he does so again, then it will be a huge hint about who might get the nod on the opening day. Thiago has just rejoined the camp, so he has a little over a fortnight to prove his fitness and take one of the midfield slots. But it would still be extremely significant if Elliott has jumped Jones in the pecking order. Jones racked up 24 Premier League appearances last season. So it would be very telling if Klopp is ready to hand similar status to the 18-year-old. In the front three, the most significant potential inclusion is Diogo Jota. The last match came too soon for the Portuguese forward, returning after his Euro 2020 exploits, but he now has a few days of training under the belt. With Roberto Firmino still away, it is a good chance to see how he fares as a direct replacement for the Brazilian in the number 9 role. There is a school of thought that says this is the long-term succession plan, so it will be interesting to see it in action. If Jota is still judged to be not quite ready in terms of fitness, Takumi Minamino could get the nod over Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. The Japanese has impressed a lot in training and deserves a chance to prove himself as the number 9 alongside quality teammates. Similarly, Andy Robertson probably has enough training minutes now to come in at left back. Kostas Tsimikas has performed pretty well, but there is no doubt who the first choice is when both are fully fit. It will also be a good experience for Kawimin Kelleher to play behind a backline pretty close to full strength. If Van Dijk makes his 20-minute cameo in the first period, it could briefly be the likely first choice back four. No real shocks in the second half predicted team, with any of those who just missed out on the stronger 11 getting a chance here. Perhaps the most significant call is giving Oxlade-Chamberlain his first midfield minutes of the pre-season campaign. Thus far he has been the subject of a false 9 experiment, but Minamino appears to have earned another chance there through his training performances. Kate Gordon is likely to retain his place at right wing, an impressive feat for a 16-year-old even in pre-season. Divock Origi on the left-hand side highlights the need for a little more attacking depth. In defense, Reece Williams could just as easily be Billy Koumichio, who was seen for the first time in a while when he came on against Mainz. The 18-year-old is still highly rated, and will be eager to get another chance to showcase his talents alongside some of the more senior pros. Nat Phillips and Neco Williams both featured last time out despite being the subject of transfer speculation. So there is no reason to suspect that won't be the case again. It would be fun to see a young stopper like Marcelo Pitaluga get a chance between the sticks, but Adrian seems the most likely prospect.